Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. As always, I truly appreciate you being here. And folks, in continuing with the theme of Beatles 64, yes, folks, less than 2 weeks, the brand new documentary exclusive to Disney Plus will be here, and no one is happier than I am. And I've been trying to do some videos lately with that 1964 theme to it, and another one fell right into my lap, folks, because it's always nice when you get a beautiful package in the mail from a friend. Okay, I can't show addresses and stuff, that wouldn't be good, but I've received a beautiful package. And I said, what could it be? What could it be? Well, it's VCLT. And it is from a wonderful friend of mine here in the VC, his friend to many, Anthony, over at Anthony. And the channel is called Gambler812. I will put the link to his channel below. Folks, he sent me something special, and it's 1964 or Beatles 64 related. So look for Anthony's link below. Please go over, subscribe, say hello. I would appreciate it. He has a great channel, folks. You're gonna love it. So Anthony sends me this wonderful package, which I'm about to show you. And it got me thinking about VJ Records. And way back in 1964, and remember when they would release stuff like this? You know, it'd be like, you thought you were getting a deal for $2.99 to get introducing the Beatles, and really there's no shadow and all the different things. It's a total fraud, it's a bootleg, it's fake, it's not really VJ and all that good stuff. And you'd get stuff like that. And I had to search far and wide on my own till I finally could get original mono of Introducing the Beatles, that great album that came out in early 1964, just before Meet the Beatles came out. And I grabbed this, folks. I had to have it. Well, there's another VJ release that I've never really had a good copy of. I've had fakes, and I've had a lot of phonies of it. Yep. I've gotten stuff like this where I thought I was finding a mono copy or original copy of Hear the Beatles Tell All. All right, no stereo at the top there. So I thought, oh, this could be an original, still in the shrink. Yeah, silly me, right? It ends up being a black label, fake VJ release of Hear the Beatles Tell All. Fake, you know? No wonder I didn't pay much for it. Shame on me, right? And then one time I found this one. I said, ooh, this one looks cool. It's got stereo on top. Maybe it's a 1970s reissue, because there was a great 70s reissue of Hear the Beatles Tell All. So I thought maybe I've got the 70s issue. Nope. On something called Charlie Records, Hear the Beatles Tell All. So that's not an original. That's not an original VJ. Well, Hear the Beatles Tell All, as you know, folks, was released in November of 64, right around the time of the Beatles story. Now, I've never really cared for the Beatles story, the way it's edited and it's just drawn out over 2 albums. I've always preferred Hear the Beatles Tell All because it's more concise, it's on one disc. Side 1 is John being interviewed by KRLA DJ, LA radio DJ, Jim Steck, talking to just John for the whole of side 1. John talks about things like, I think it was the day after they did the Hollywood Bowl concert on August 24th, 64. John was interviewed by Jim Steck, and they talked about things like the Hollywood Bowl audience. It had only been a day. Radio in general, the Beatles' name origin, how they came up with the name The Beatles. Talked about long hair. He talked about skiffle music, his future plans, Liverpool, his hometown, stuff like that. Great side 1. Side 2 was more with all 4 of the Beatles. That was like a couple of days after the Hollywood Bowl. And the DJ from KRLA radio then was Dave Hull. He talked to Paul about Jane Asher and her family. He talked to Jean about Cynthia and Julian. He talked to George about his mom helping with fan club letters. And he talked about Pattie Boyd. Ringo talked about his recent throat operation, which was a major thing back on that tour of summer of 64. John talked about A Hard Day's Night, about his new home in Surrey. George talked about Disneyland. Ringo talked about Disneyland and Maureen. Paul talked about his dad's racehorse, Drake's drum, all that good. So side 2 was fantastic too. Now, it was kind of a unique recording here, the Beatles Tell All, because they added and dubbed in some sound effects and things. Some screams, some noises, audience noises. Hal Blaine, the famous Wrecking Crew drummer, was utilized to add in some percussion behind the Beatles being interviewed and whatnot. So it was very unique. And this was all produced by the great Lou Adler, who was over on Dunhill Records. He did all this production to add all the extra sounds and Hal Blaine's percussion to the proceedings. And it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now, the original 1964 recordings of Hear the Beatles Tell All kind of looked like this. They really had nothing on the top, although this is a blatant bootleg and whatnot. And then later in the 70s, in the late 70s, VJ reissued Hear the Beatles Tell All with a stereo symbol at the top. And that one is kind of a hard one to find too. Obviously, the original 64 ones are even more rare. But such and such, I didn't have anything but a couple of lousy bootlegs. I had the one on Charlie Records, as I showed you, and then I had the one on the Black VJ label. Total fakes. You know, they're worth like pennies, $2.99 each. Well, out of the blue, my friend Anthony over at Gambler, Anthony Gambler, 812, again, link will be below, subscribe. He sent me this, folks. Still in the shrink, still with the price sticker on it, still with a hype sticker on it. This is the 1970s, the late 70s reissue of Hear the Beatles Tell All on VJ Records. Has the stereo wording up top, has a hype sticker here that says factory sealed for your protection, and it has a Bradley's sticker for $3.99. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with it outside of New England, but Bradley's was a big chain store, kind of like the Walmart of its day, back in the 70s, coming into the 80s. Long gone now, but it's a Bradley's purchase right here of Hear the Beatles Tell All. Beautiful cover, beautiful back cover, very clean. Again, over 40, going on 50 years old, this thing. And here it is on the VJ label. Beautiful. VJ Rainbow Swirl, which is similar to the Capitol Rainbow Swirl. Look how clean this thing is, folks. Anthony stunned me when I received this. Beautiful shape. Look at that label. Mint condition. Mint condition. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to have this, folks, because I've never had an official VJ issue of Hear the Beatles Tell All. I've had these silly bootlegs and counterfeits and garbage, but now I've got a real one, folks, and I am so excited about it. So Anthony at Gambler812, link will be below. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And I got a nice note from Anthony. Gave me a quick little note. He said, enjoy, buddy. God bless, Anthony. Love it. Love it. So, folks, get ready. Less than 2 weeks. 64. Beatles 64, baby. It's happening. The big documentary from Martin Scorsese is coming. We have lots of stuff to listen to get ready for it. And I thank Anthony for making my day and sending me this beautiful 70s copy of Hear the Beatles Tell All. I didn't have it, and I have it now. Thank you, everybody. So happy you were here. Hope you enjoyed this quick video. Beatles 64. Be there or be square. I love you. Bye-bye.